Go.
1, 2, 3. The bigger picture. That is what you Hollywood stand for. I push myself every single day to make it. Every single stand, every single goal matters. It's beyond anything else. Get ready for the entertainer. Me, Tommy, and C2010.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to one of the most electrifying shows.
Can't hear you, Tommy.
Oh, sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to one of the most electrifying shows here on YouTube, Tommy Talks. Welcome back to another awesome episode of Tommy Talks live here from the Drink Rink in Western North Carolina. We're bringing you the insanity all the way from here and back. We're brushing your teeth with Colgate, and we're making sure that you're happy and dandy. Tonight, we have a special guest. He's drunk, he's unusual, he collects them, and he has a drawer, and he opens it up. No, that's just not it. His name is JunkDrawerVideos. His name is Adam, and he lives in Canada, and I know him because of Vlogging Life. So tonight we get to massage his shoulders and we get to ask him, is this uncomfortable? Is this too uncomfortable? How do you feel about that, Drunk Drawers?
I'm good, yeah, keep it up.
You're just like, this is kind of creepy, So I'm going to ask if my MCs could step out. I'm going to interview...
What happened to the introduction?
Okay, so my first MC right here is Sega Camp, known as the Sega Camp Gamer, and my second MC is Mr. Rasmus.
What's up, everybody?
And you can youtube.com/Mr. Rasmus.
And Twitch TV/Sega Camp Gamer.
Of course. That's
for the most electrifying vintage replay gameplay that you've ever
I'm
seen.
having this mask stuck on my face, and I'm talking like that creepy mask that you see in the new Splatterhouse game. It's almost like a Two-Face effect since Rick just talks like this. I must say, Jennifer, sorry, Rick, but until then, I'm all yours, boy.
And I'm filling up my beverage here for a full awesome interview. I can't wait.
So do you want us to leave yet?
Yes, I would like you guys to step out, and I will invite you guys back in.
Tommy, what's in the drink?
It is some Kool-Aid. It's some Kool-Aid and very delicious.
All right, man. Have a good interview.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll be back later.
Butterflies and gumdrops.
That's a heck of a cup, Tommy.
Thank you. It's I like to I drink to impress.
That's cool.
Okay.
So I do have to preface one thing though. It's Junk Drawer Videos with a J.
Drunk with drawer. I apologize. So let's get down to the bottom line. Who inspired you to start your YouTube channel, and where did you get the idea to have your own YouTube channel?
I'm not sure if anyone really inspired me. Truthfully, what had happened was I lost my job when I was working at a company called Bortlong here in North Bay, and I am a strong believer that the best way to fight depression is through expression. So I decided to start creating content and, you know, keep myself occupied by making YouTube videos.
Now, what is your top video? Would you say that has the most views on it?
My top video is the Um, seven professional wrestling shoots, so real fights in the ring.
Who is your favorite professional wrestler?
My favorite pro wrestler, it's usually a tie between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, but I think over the last couple of years I've sort of settled on Shawn Michaels. I think he is my favorite of all time.
Now, I'm curious, in that whole situation, do you think that was ridiculous with that whole screw job? Do you think it was staged, or do you think it was actually for real that actually unfolded like that, or that was just a storyline?
For a long time I thought it was a work. However, I've had some people tell me that it's not a work, some people that know, some people that I really trust. So I don't want to question them because I really respect them, but for a long time, I definitely thought it was something that they set up. Because if you look at it, everybody came out looking great. Vince McMahon looks like the ultimate bad guy. He, goes on to beat the WCW in the War, and Bret Hart couldn't have been sent to a different company with a better spotlight on him.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. I'm sorry to keep on the subject, and I'll be asking more questions. Now, it seems to be interesting that you live in Canada, but as you told me in a pre-interview, you told me offline, you told me Shawn Michaels is your favorite wrestler, but though you live in Canada, you like Shawn Michaels over, he's Bret the Hitman Hart, he's a Canadian. I figured a fellow Canadian would like a fellow Canadian wrestler.
Well, there is, like I said, the two of them are sort of my two favorite. But speaking objectionably, I think that Shawn had a longer career and has had more awesome matches, whereas I think Bret Hart had a very short window of really incredible matches. But on a longer timeline, when he went to WCW, his matches weren't really up to par. Shawn Michaels had a very long career, especially since coming back, where he's just had Hulk Hogan's best match. Every guy he stepped in the ring with seems to be able to say that was his best match. So it's hard to argue with success, right?
Oh wait a minute! You can't say that. Well, here's the thing. Here's the fact. Being the censors that we are, we can't say that Shawn Michaels fought Bret Hart. We can't say that. I mean, no, wait a minute. We can't say that. What is it? Bret the Hitman Hart fought against Hulk Hogan because Hulk Hogan doesn't exist anymore. Apparently, to WWE.
Oh, that's right.
He fought that dude with the crazy mustache and said, "Oh yeah, brother, that's not Hulk Hogan."
Sorry, go ahead.
That's what Vince McMahon wants us to do. He wants us to believe that there's no such thing as Hulk Hogan. It's kind of like telling kids. It's like there's no such thing as Santa Claus, and it's just like, yes, there's no such thing as Hulk Hogan, but there he is, right there. That's Terry Bollea.
Did you see that meme that was going around of Andre the Giant flying through the air, and it says, "Who can forget that iconic moment at WrestleMania 3 when Andre the Giant tripped and fell down?"
Oh yeah, erase Hulk Hogan completely out of there.
Exactly.
Yes. Let's take this and let's cut this out. Let's make that okay. Hulk Hogan was never at WrestleMania 3. And then some old geezer is like, I was sitting in the front row and I was watching that match, and you are a lying dirtbag, Mr. McMahon. No, you need to shut up.
There's another one going around of Jimmy Snuka, because he's gotten into some trouble as well, where they say, who can forget the time when Rowdy Roddy Piper smashed a coconut on thin air?
Did they take out Roddy Piper too out of the
I know. Sorry, go ahead.
No, Roddy Piper, he passed away. May he rest in peace. Did they take Jimmy Fly Snuka out because he committed murder?
Well, I don't know if they actually have. I think maybe that's a little bit more speculation. They're sort of making fun of the whole Hulk Hogan thing, saying now they're going to do it to everybody.
Oh yeah, because a wrestler, because the wrestler does this, let's destroy his career completely. That's like doing that to us here on YouTube, destroying our career because we said something or did something. People make mistakes. People say things every day that they make mistakes to. Now, I understand that you do movie reviews too, and you do also you in your video you said that you did some advertising for a company. In my advice, I think you should do more of that because it helps you give more business for local businesses, and plus you can make good friends as you said in your video. And don't worry, I already have you added on Google Plus, so you don't have to ask me.
Awesome. I guess I'll have to add you. I don't really use Google Plus as much as Facebook, but as far as the advertisement thing, yeah, I did get an opportunity to do a couple advertisements for some companies, and there were a few that were on the table that I was going to try and pursue, but really hasn't come to fruition that often. I'd love to do more. If the opportunity came about, I would definitely take it, but in the last little while, it just hasn't been happening as much. Maybe I'll try to pursue it a little bit more, like you're saying, though.
Now, how long how long have you been making YouTube videos for?
Probably about 3 years now.
And here's my question for you: what are you dressing up for Halloween?
For Halloween, I have a really cool idea. I want to dress up like Raiden from Mortal Kombat.
Now, are you talking about the rating character from what is it? Shoot, oh, shoot, it was in my head. It's another video game, and apparently, I searched up on Google, and it popped up Metal Gear Solid. Now, is it that rating? Because that looks like a technical costume.
Well, no, I'm going to be doing Raiden from Mortal Kombat if all things go as planned, and it is going to be a pretty technical costume too, because what I want to do is create the lightning effect with EL wire. So EL wire is basically, it's almost invisible wire that you can put all over your body, and then you run a charge through it and it'll light up. So I wanted to create a lightning effect with that if I can get it done. But, you know, with shipping from the US into Canada, it might not get here on time, so we'll have to wait and see.
Just be careful. The one thing about is with those kind of costumes, people have been known to catch fire when they do technical light up costumes, you know, because there's a certain missing wire, you know, and those kind of costumes are very flammable. So you have to be careful when you do that. Be very, very precautious and watch out what you do with if you're having electronics.
Yeah, no, that is one other thing is I'm gonna have to look into how to sort of get it running the right way properly, because I don't know a whole lot of DIY right now, so I'm going to be educating myself as I build that costume.
Yeah, you might end up like Ricky off of Trailer Park Boys. You end up trying to touch the wrong wire to something else, and you get. He's just like, I'm trying to have a smoke here. He's like, Ricky, you don't have a cigarette. He's like, okay, Julian. He's like, I'm not Julian. I'm Bubbles. Could you see that happen to you?
I hope not.
Now, what is the future for your YouTube channel? What is in your vision? What is your vision for your YouTube channel?
Right now, I'm really focusing on creating valuable content for the people that have subscribed. When I started out, it was very much, I don't want to say very much about me, but it was very much like, this is just doing something for me, expressing myself. Now that I'm coming close to 1,000 subscribers, I'm at about 800. I'm starting to realize that there's people that are subscribing for value. So I'm really focusing on making things that people will enjoy, trying to add some humor to it, trying to inform people if I can, just trying to make videos that I think people will appreciate.
Now, when you are now you do what? Are you drinking Horton's coffee, by the way?
Yes, I am, sir.
I keep telling Adam Vlogging to send me some Horton's coffee but he won't send it to me, and I'm like, come on, Adam. And he says, calm your tits, buddy. And I'm like, well, why don't you calm down, Adam?
Well, I'd love to send you some coffee, but I don't think it'd be warm by the time it gets to you.
Oh, what was that discussion? Is like, the post office. Well, welcome to the United States Post Office. Here in the United States and Canada, we have a new service. It's called Deliver Your Cup of Coffee from country to country. We guarantee you it's still going to be hot. And remember, you don't have to tip the delivery boy when you get there. And he gets to the door and it's just like, and it's just like, hello there. He's like, here's your coffee. Thank you. No tip.
Well, if they get a coffee from where I live to where you live and it's still warm, I hope that they get a tip.
Here's a penny. A bloody penny. Bloody wanker. What is no, I shouldn't. Are you a fan of Trailer Park Boys?
Not a very. I don't want to say not a very big fan. I've seen the show, I enjoy it, but I don't. I don't follow it like, sort of as religiously as a lot of people do. I think it's a good show. I haven't seen a whole lot of it.
What on your channel? What is your favorite review you've ever done on your channel?
My favorite review. Well, here's the thing: is when I started out, I was doing a lot of stuff for SourceFed and Philip DeFranco's Movie Club. Made a lot of friends through there, and probably my favorite review that I did was for Man on the Moon by Jim Carrey. Because before that, I think that SourceFed's audience really didn't. They were kind of not very kind to me, and that was sort of the one where I just threw a bunch of, like, I knew a whole lot. I knew about Andy Kaufman from pro wrestling. I knew a lot of really interesting facts, and I just threw as much of it at the camera as possible. And once I saw that, it was sort of like, oh, this guy does have, he does know what he's talking about.
This guy actually has a brain. If I only had a brain.
Exactly.
Well, question for you. Is it, some of these YouTubers, these big YouTubers, no offense, I know I've said this, some of them are not exactly the nicest people. What is he like? Is he a nice YouTuber, or is he one of these guys that's short-witted?
Oh, Philip DeFranco, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I've met him at a couple conventions, and every time he's been kind. He remembers the movie clubbers and the people that I know. I have a lot of friends that are sort of seen as the super fans of SourceFed that get mentioned on the show sometimes. And, all of the people at SourceFed remember the people that they interact with. They're all really great people.
Okay. Now, how did you come across meeting Adam and the whole group of people that are your Canadian kind of like family and YouTube friends?
Well, Vlogging Life, I have known, really, I don't even know if I've ever not known him. His dad and my dad worked together. I remember my dad, he always liked sort of tech toys. He would always have a new computer. And there was a point when I was very young that there would always be a new sort of computer tech guy that this guy's the best tech guy. This guy knows everything about computers. And for a period of time, that was Vlogging Life. Vlogging Life was the guy that my dad came down to fix, would bring over to fix my computers and do all that. He says he's gone to my trailer that I used to, my trailer camp that I would go for summer camp when we were kids. It's really, I've known Vlogging Life, like I said, really as long as I can remember. We haven't always hung out. We just started hanging out in the last, say, 3 years, probably since I started YouTubing, because that's when I reconnected with Adrian. Adrian and I went to high school together, and we've always been friends. But you know how when you go to high school, sometimes you sort of lose contact with someone after high school? We would see each other around, and I started YouTubing, and I just started looking for people in North Bay. Came across his girlfriend's video and said, I saw him in it, and I was like, "Oh, how do you know Adrian? I know that guy." And Christina said, "Oh, that's my boyfriend. How do you know him?" And we all started hanging out again, and yeah, and Rex I met through all of them, and I don't know if you know the Weekday Cocktails guys. I've always kind of known them. They're another group of North Bay YouTubers. They're really cool guys. I sort of know them from when I did drink. I used to go to the bar and kind of hang out with those guys. Or no, I don't even think that's true. I've known them after I stopped drinking. I've known Travis for a long time, and Sean I've only met in the last, say, 5 or 6 years.
Now, here comes, in a little bit, I'm going to invite my my guys back, but here's a segment where you're welcome to ask me any question you want to ask, and also, I know Sam's going to be jumping on this. Tommy, make sure you tell him about the one impression. Okay, calm your tits, calm your tits, Sam. Calm your tits. I said calm down, Sam. Okay, calm down. And you too, Sega Camp. You too. Calm your horse. And where Camp, you quit flipping me off. Hey, I said stop it. Now, say Mike is just sitting there going, okay. So you can ask, I can do an impression if you want, or ask me any question. You're welcome. Who just hopped in?
Looks like Sam jumped in.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Come in.
Good. I just got the summons.
No, that wasn't it. We were just gonna do the interviews where he asked me a couple questions, and then you guys were gonna come back in, okay?
Oh, okay. I thought I heard you say Sam come in, Sega Camp.
No, that was
Okay.
I was talking about you guys. I was being funny. I was talking about you guys.
Okay, well,
No, we got another one.
should we do I stay or do I go now?
What do you think? Do you think they should? You think they well, they could as long as you guys don't interrupt him, you guys can stay and
Here, I'll mute myself too.
Yeah, I'm cool with them sticking around. They seem like great people.
Yes.
I may as well stay here now since I'm here.
As far as questions, you were on Tosh.0. What was the it's Daniel Tosh? What was he like?
Daniel Tosh, he's a Capricorn. He likes to run on the beach naked, and he likes to balance grenades. No. I don't know much. I'm gonna tell you, it was brief. Not Miss Briefs. No, not Miss Briefs from Dragon Ball Z. It was very brief. I met him for a couple of seconds. I couldn't really have a private conversation with him because we were constantly working. He is kind of picky about things. He jumped on his producers multiple times because they were trying to tell me Hollywood stuff, production stuff. And he's like,
really?
"Do you think Tommy's gonna know this?" And they're like, "Oh, oops, sorry." And I'm
Well,
like,
that's not so bad. That's not. At first, it sort of sounded like you were going to say he's a big prick to his production people, but that is true. If people are using insider terms and you don't know them, he's almost sticking up for you there.
Yeah, he stuck up for me a few times during the whole thing, but his people treated me pretty well, and
That's good.
it was pretty fun, basically.
Cool. So, what do you know about Canada?
What do I know about Canada? I know tomorrow is your guys' Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir.
And I know that you guys, your rivers flow mighty with syrup, and that your flag flows high with a mighty flag, a maple leaf flag.
Yes, with a maple leaf flag.
Red maple leaf flag. That's what it is.
Tommy, I think Tommy thinks Canada is like a really small place because he's like, Sega Camp's from Ontario. Hey Sam, you should just go see him sometime. I'm over here in BC. It's like, dude, that's gonna cost a lot of money and take a lot of time. It ain't like a 1 hour drive or anything.
No.
Oh, how about this? Here's a song. Thank you for being a Canadian friend. When everybody knows your name. Thank you for being a Canadian friend. Thank you for being a Canadian friend. Where everybody comes around and hugs each other and gives butter toast. No, wait a minute. Waffles and syrup. Thank you for being a Canadian friend.
Well, for what it's worth, Canada is the second largest landmass behind Russia, I believe. So we're pretty big.
You know,
Yeah,
here's
we're
the
bigger.
thing.
We're bigger than Australia. That's a freaking continent.
Yeah, there you go.
I thought that the movie Fargo was a movie in Canada, but apparently it's not in Canada, and I thought that's what the whole movie was about because they had the whole accent. I thought that was a Canadian accent, and then somebody said, "Tommy, Fargo is not in Canada."
I think they're in Minnesota, which is really close to Canada.
Oh, Minnesota, yeah, I see. Yeah.
In fact, I think parts of Minnesota are farther north than I am. So.
Now,
Hang on a sec. What happened to Mark?
Mark is he's busy right now. I already spoke to him, and he's been excused from Tommy Talks tonight. He's busy.
Oh, that's right.
I
He's
would
on
blame
his.
him if he could not be here to go visit Rick.
Mark's on vacation.
All right. So you have a couple more questions, or what else did you have to? You said you were going to ask.
You were on Tosh.0 for the video about rescuing the eggs, right?
Yes.
Did that sort of go viral before you went on, or did it sort of get the attention after you went on?
It went viral because Daniel found it, I think, because it went viral. The video went viral, and his producer contacted me, and they used several videos. They used the the unboxing. It's actually the Humberg, but I called it the Fedora video. I always ask myself, what if I go back there and change it? Well, it's already getting a lot of views because people search up Fedora all the time.
Yeah.
Tommy,
Well, that's good.
Tommy, hang on.
Tommy.
Is it true that Mark gets paid to be an MC?
No, he does not get paid. You guys are all like everybody I work with is you guys are like why would you say something like that?
Well, he's the longest running MC.
Because I hopefully someday when the Tommy Network picks up and I get more patrons, funds will go to be getting equipment and also paying my MCs to help me with things, but I can never get the right amount of patrons. And also, we just lowered the Patreon amounts now, and you can go to patreon.com/TommyNC2010, Tommy Network, and you could see our prices, and you could see your rewards.
You want me to read them off for the fans?
Sure.
Okay, Tommy, they didn't change. Oh, they did change. Okay, for $1, you get access to content first, and you get a random thank you hangout with Tommy. And I don't think that that's happened for any of the $1 Patreons yet.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Like I mean to do that. I do give reward.
You gotta get on that.
Yeah, because then people talk about it, and then you might get more $1 Patreon for $10. One hangout per month. 5 minutes on Tommy Talks with Skype, shout out in videos, previous rewards, and there's one person who's paying that money, man, and I don't think they've gotten their rewards yet.
Well, Adam said that Adam became, and he will be getting that soon. He'll be getting a custom video too.
Adam Pacitti.
No, you mean Adam Vlogging Life.
Oh, he's the $10 patron?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, there's 3 Adams to think about now, so it's kind of crazy.
Sorry about that.
No, it's no problem. Yeah, so that used to be $15, but it looks like you lowered it, and then you cut the $50 one in half. So hey, if anyone's out there been wanting to do Patreon with Tommy, now's the time to do it. The $50 Patreon pledge is cut in half to $25. He'll give you a custom video, an autographed photo, invites to Tommy Talks after shows, and all the previous.
It is easier now to become a Patreon, people. Please,
Yes.
do it today.
Act now.
Continue. What were you saying? You were saying, yeah, Sam, you were reading them off. Is there any more?
Yeah, well, there's a couple more premium rewards, but you can if you're gonna check it out, you should check it out for yourself. And
Wasn't
see
there
what's
the one for the
premium.
Needlefelt figure? Wasn't there one from Needlefelt?
Yeah, I think it's $100 for a needle felt figure, but that's
Yeah,
not all you get, right? It's $100. You get
with that you get to be in a Google Plus Live Hangout while I'm making your figure. I can either make you or a celebrity, or because
and you get the
you know
previous ones too, right?
what?
The other rewards, you get the ones below it.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, let's jump into some impressions, dude. We gotta pick up the pace here.
Oh, impressions.
This is a fan favorite segment here.
So do I get to request the impressions?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see. Can you do an Undertaker impression since it's Halloween?
Okay. You will rest in peace.
Can you do a Paul Bearer impression?
Adam, when was the last time that you went to the proctologist? Oh, yes.
Tommy, do the It's Your Brother Kane. Do that one.
It's your brother, Kane. Undertaker.
Hey, okay, how about this? Vince McMahon if he was gay.
Oh.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna offend anybody. I'm not gonna do that. Honestly, no, I'm not gonna.
What about a mime?
A mime?
Yeah.
That's kind of hard, because you don't say anything.
No, it's acting.
I'm acting. It reminds me of the Nostalgia Critic when they did Alone in the Dark, and they're watching it, and the Nostalgia Critic is using the speaking coach of like Stephen Hawking's, and I guess the actor's not that good of an actor, and he's like, I'm acting. I like to wear women's clothes. And then, like, what happens is, sorry, I got off topic, but it's like the guy grabs the Nostalgia Critic's speaking coach. He's like, I like to wear women's clothing. I like to wear women's clothes.
Hey, Tommy, what about a Brock Lesnar impression?
I want to say my name's Brock Lesnar, and I'm dumber than a sack of bricks. And yes, I will get down and take the highest bidder. And if they are long-witted and they're strong and firm, yes, I will get down on my knees and make a certain amount of money, and then walk away. And when I win the WWE Championship, I will not show up to house shows. I will not show up to recording TV shows or the show. Yes, my name is Brock Lesnar, and I am a mercenary.
How about, can you do an impression of Vince McMahon doing an impression of Tommy Boy, Chris Farley?
Oh, yes, fat guy in little coat. Fat guy. Look who I am. I'm Eric Bischoff. I think I can run a company. And I was like, here's Ted Turner. Hello there, folks. My name is Ted Turner. And welcome to TBS. And I know nothing about wrestling, but Eric Bischoff, here's a checkbook. Take whatever you want. And what? What is that? Oh, sorry, Eric Bischoff. I gotta take that checkbook back because apparently my producers and my people on the board think that I don't have enough brains, so we're going to shut down WCW and end up having a bunch of wrestlers kill themselves because they just lost their jobs. So we're sorry. AOL doesn't like it, and in a couple more years, AOL is not going to exist. So we're just shooting ourselves in the foot right now. Oh, hello there, Vince McMahon. You want me to sign what? Okay.
What about a diva scream?
No, I can't do that right now.
Too late at night, eh? You
Whatever
probably wake up all of Black
You
Mountain with the
got
diva
me.
scream.
Hey,
How about this? An impression
whatever
of
happened
what
to
McMahon really wanted to do to Eric Bischoff. Oh, a second. Woo! 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 Be quiet. I said be quiet. This is gonna hurt you more than it hurts me. Well, technically, it's gonna hurt you because you're the one getting pierced. Okay, Kane, get down and go get him.
whatever happened, Tommy, to the
Tommy, you ever done a
Triple
Eddie
H used to be
Guerrero?
called,
What?
You got
done-
mail.
What the?
Whatever happened to the simplest thing that used to be, you got mail.
Yes.
What impression is that?
I did invite a young lady here tonight, but I told her what time the show was going to be. I even gave her a link, and Amanda was supposed to be here tonight, but I don't know what happened to her. I sent her a link to the show.
Hey, Tommy, what about Eddie Guerrero? Do you know how to do that impression?
I never really watched Eddie Guerrero. I actually Eddie Guerrero. Before I watched wrestling, he actually already passed away.
Oh.
Before I got into
Wow,
wrestling.
you started watching wrestling late in the game, dude.
Yes, I did. I was.
Viva la raza! And let me do a frog splash!
I only know about Hulk Hogan really because of Suburban Commando. Hey now, now's the time for a little vacation for a hand now, now's the time. Earthlings, I hate Earthlings. I love the scene. My favorite scene in that movie is when he's trying to get through into his driveway, and the guys that are building the cars, the rednecks, are there, and he's like, move the car, and then they're just like. So what is Hulk Hogan known as Ramsey? He reaches over and he picks up the vehicle and he moves it back, and so what happens is like. We're going to do to you, and then he goes into all this ramble, and he's like, what are you going to do, grind my bones? You're going to do all this? He's like, no, it's the 90s. We're going to sue you. And Hulk Hogan is just like, as Ramsey is going like, what? We're going to sue you.
So do you, you have a wrestling talk show?
I wouldn't say Tommy Talks is the only talk show I really have. I do live shows sometimes where I talk to the audience sitting down. Tommy Talks is my main flagship show that I interview people on, and it's kind of like I've been wanting to get Tommy Talks to be the forefront of I call myself the man with the golden microphone and the man of many hats and the world heavyweight Comedy Central MTV's made champion at that, and one day I will buy that wrestling belt. I will buy a custom wrestling belt and carry it on my shoulder wherever I go.
That's cool.
Now, if you think about it, there's I have to say this year Halloween, people keep saying I should dress up like Paul Bearer, and I'm like,
Paul Bearer, yeah, dude. White makeup.
Because that's Paul Bearer was really fat, and people I already get fat.
Dude, hang on a second, man. You don't want to be Paul Bearer because he was fat?
No, I don't want, not just because people would make fun of me. I'm like, I'd rather dress up like Sting because Sting's a badass.
Dude, why would people make fun of you for doing a spot-on costume? Like, you kind of look like Paul Bear with the mustache, and you do the impression, like, to a T. And you got the suits.
Well, I'd have to whiten my face a little bit more because remember, I'd probably be doing '90s Paul Bearer because he had a black wig. He didn't. He did have brown hair towards the. No, the '80s was actually when he looked like that, and then the '90s he kind of let his hair go brown. I guess I don't know because he had dyed his hair black.
Around like 97, he had sort of reddish, brownish hair.
Yeah, and I got confused. I'm like, who the heck is that with Undertaker? And I'm like, oh, that's Paul Bear. He just let his hair go. I would, like, recently, as I've gotten into wrestling. I've learned that it's a pretty entertainment universe. That I learned that the controversies of WCW and fans, there's still WCW fans that are just like, we hate WWF, but we'll still buy their shirts.
Well, there are definitely some WCW fans who just didn't convert to WWE if you look at the ratings, because they were getting combined, like, what was it, like 8 in the ratings, and as soon as WCW folded, those people just didn't switch over to WWE.
Well, it's McMahon's fault because McMahon had a chance to give WCW wrestlers a chance, but in the beginning he didn't. He was selfish. He just gave us WWE wrestlers WWF. And if you watch those documentaries, it really ticks me up because they're like, yeah, WWE. And I'm like, it's Federation Wrestling. It's World Federation Wrestling. That's what it is. Say it. Say it. And they're like, we can't say it because Vince McMahon is standing over there with a paintball gun. And if we say Federation, he's going to shoot us in the balls. That's right. I got it right here. One of my favorite things is I watched the interview with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Vince McMahon, and it really ticked me off how he said, "Well, not a lot of wrestlers reach for that brass ring. John Cena did, and we kind of gave him a boost, All the rest of you can all suck my."
What you talking about, Willis? Oh, goblet gulp. That was a good goblet gulp.
Yes. I tell you what, this goblet right here, people get room. I'm not even drunk tonight. I'm drunk on Kool-Aid.
It's all that concentrated Kool-Aid you just drank.
Concentrated. How concentrated is this, officer? Officer? What are you doing in my bedroom? You're in my bedroom. Oh, God. Can you imagine that as a press story? News today. Alcoholic drunk driver drives into a police officer's den. Imagine what he would be saying. Officer, I swear I wasn't drinking.
I didn't know police officers hibernate together.
No. It's like what I'm saying is basically the police officer's off duty and he's at home and he's in his kitchen and all of a sudden.
Hey, Tommy, you should show the fans that picture you got because some of them might not have seen Mailbox Monday.
Okay, just a second. I will put it.
Just show it to the camera, dude.
Alright, here it is.
Oh wow, look at that, eh?
The Tommynator. That's a piece of fan art.
That's awesome.
And what I like is that the lower half is like Steve-O from Jackass. He's got the Cheeto thong. And then the rest is like Tommy and C2010 as the Terminator. What would you rate that out of 10, Tommy? How would you rate that for like creativity?
Interesting. That's what I have to say about that. Just interesting. I'm like, why did he? Does he think? By the way, I just want to say, buddy, I wear pants. Look at this right here. Look at this. I'm wearing pants. So if you think
But if they're
I'm
short,
over
we
here,
can't tell if they're short pants or not, dude.
oh well, no. Long pants tonight, folks. Long pants tonight. Yes.
Now, is it true? I've seen a picture, Tommy, but is it true that when you wear pajamas, you also wear dress shoes?
Occasionally, yes.
Classy fella.
Yes, very classy fellow, and yes, I. By the way, those are. I do take a lot of food pics. I tweet before I eat, and I take a lot. A lot of people are question me. Are you a foodie? Are you a foodie? No, I just like taking pictures of random food, like interesting food. And I didn't realize he was going to be showing off my whole entire Instagram of different foods that I have eaten. He found the picture of ham, which I was producing eggs. I was making scrambled eggs, and he never showed the whole picture of me making the eggs. I took separate pictures of that, me making eggs, and I showed the ham. I had it rolled up into like a cigar, and you have no idea how people are. Sometimes they're like, "What the heck is that, Tommy?" I'm like, "It's a piece of ham, for goodness sake." Oh, jeez.
Oh, wait a sec. Did you poo your pants?
No, I did not.
It sounded a little wet, dude. A little bubbly.
I think Adam's in my room. No, he's not in my room because
he's hidden there farting.
If we go to Vlogger Fair, that's what we have to be careful. We have to bring the cork, and we have to be like, Adam, you have to put this. I wore this up my ass.
Dude, if you guys are coming to Vlogger Fair, you know, like, if we all got together, I'd be watching out after mealtime because I know how farty you guys get.
You know, I'll tell you something interesting. Really, technically, at Vlogger Fair, they only offered us pizza, and it was. I had like one slice of pizza, and that was it. And I really didn't have much of an appetite because I was so excited. I was like, this is like my first day of school, but it was YouTube school, and I was just like, I'm not even hungry. I'm not even hungry. And I had bought 3 boxes of sweet rolls because I wanted to buy donuts, and I went to a bakery, a brand new bakery, this bakery, and I went and I'm like, you guys have donuts? And they're like, no, we just made all these sweet rolls. And I'm like, oh, this is how much money I have. How many can I have? And they're like, how about 3 boxes? And I'm like, okay, sure, okay. So they give me like 3 boxes of sweet rolls, and I'm like, I guess like we can give them out to people. And I'm like, hey Chris, here's a box of sweet rolls. And I'm like, he's like, Diana, and she's like 9 months pregnant, I'm guessing, and she's like, and I tell you what, for a pregnant woman, she sure could keep up with Chris. I tell you what, because Chris was going, and Diana was right behind him, pregnant more than ever, and I was impressed with her. I was very impressed with her, especially when, of course, I was very impressed when she gave birth to Jedi. Because when Chris, I'm surprised that they let him film so much like that at the hospital, but they let him do it, you know, and I was very impressed with her. But and one thing as I'm hoping.
Wait, impressed with it, Diana?
What?
That you're impressed by?
I was impressed by Diana, how when she was pregnant and she was keeping up with Chris, like walking around Vlogger Fair.
Yeah. Well, it must have been a long day for her and Chris.
You know, something interesting, one of the most interesting moments for me at Vlogger Fair was, it was interesting meeting Chris, and I met Diana. I had 2 or 3 minutes that I just chilled with Diana, and we had a conversation. We talked, and she talked to Anthrop, my friend, and his girlfriend, and we were talking with her outside, and like Chris is like looking for her and he can't find her, but she's outside talking to Anthony and me, and like here's the thing, I got an awesome picture with Diana, and all I have technically of me and Chris is this picture right here. This picture that it's shoot. If my phone would let me get me a space. Okay, here's the. I cherish this moment a lot. I can't put this on my.
Oh wow, look at that.
Yeah, I cherish.
That's a nice picture.
It was actually it was on a cruddy phone that I took it off, but apparently, like it looks a lot smaller on Facebook, but I got a good one of me and Diana hanging out, me meeting Diana. But Vlogger Fair, I would suggest to you folks, Vlogger Fair is a small convention. It's not like one of these big conventions, but you know.
Yeah, it's not like Playlist Live or something like that, right?
No, it's not. It's not like Playlist Live. It's the opposite of Playlist Live. And
well, Tommy, you were saying, you told me, and you know, I watched the vlogs from you and Anthrop. You were basically saying it's like a bunch of fans of vloggers who go there just to kind of meet them, and it was like a bunch of teenage girls and their moms and Shay Carl.
Which, you know, I'm not gonna badmouth them here. I've never badmouthed Chris.
Hi.
For goodness sake.
Hi.
Hi. Well, where's Adam? I apologize. I know we're talking with you right now. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
That's just how it happens here on Tommy Talks. We start talking, and we get off on a task.
That's cool. I was gonna say that. Sorry, I was just gonna say that I've been to VidCon for the past 2 years. It's a lot of fun.
Really? How is it like at VidCon?
Oh, it's awesome. What's really cool, what I really like about it is that I have friends from all over the world. I have friends in the UK, friends in Scotland, friends in the States, all friends in California, and we all sort of converge to the same spot every year, and we all get to hang out. It's really cool. If you guys are interested, I would invite you guys to go to VidCon as well next year.
Where's it going to be at?
It's in Anaheim, California. It's at the Anaheim
Convention
Center.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not that far.
It's not far from BC.
Yeah.
At least it's on the same coast. I was like, oh shit, I hope it doesn't say Florida, because that's on the other side of the country.
I may have to take a plane there.
Yeah, well, you would have to, yeah. Yeah, it's really fun, and you get to go to panels. They teach you about YouTubing, which I don't find them that informative. What I really like is just getting to interact with my friends that I've met over the internet.
Yeah, I'm sure it's great for networking too, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Now, is there any comments in the any questions or anything in the chat in the chat at all? Or
I know someone wants to know if you're able to fart on command.
No, I'm not. I have to have like a decent meal or like say some. I tell you what, I love Chinese food, but Chinese food does not love me.
Wait, what kind of Chinese food? Like sweet and sour chicken or?
Number One China, particularly. Sometimes when I go to Number One China, I crave Number One China all the time. Like when I go into town.
But what do you get, dude? Like, do you just get a bunch of egg rolls?
I get like.
And I was afraid I was gonna be fond of seafood, but
Say
I still
could
ate
you,
it anyway.
Say, you know what you sound like? You sound like you're talking through a long tube, and we can't. You're.
Yeah, you're definitely. It's definitely hard with your mouth not near the microphone because of the mask, right?
I like this as close as possible. Are you kidding me?
Oh, jeez. Now, was there any other questions, Sam, in the chat?
Let me just have a look. Well, people want to know if you paid Chris Pirillo for any of the pictures that you got with him.
No, I did not. I only well the only time I ever paid Chris Pirillo for anything was for the Patreon, and Hamza paid for that for my Christmas gift. So and then afterwards I continued to.
What kind of subscription did you have?
I had the $50 patron piece for him to have your own custom. You have your own custom video and a Google Plus Hangout. And you get
now.
access.
Wait a sec. Didn't you say there were some issues with the Hangouts? Like they didn't do them on the scheduled day?
I'd rather not discuss that here on air. Okay. I didn't have any issues. It was fun and it was really cool to meet Chris Pirillo and chill with them.
Well, you don't have to be politically correct, Tom.
Well, yes, I do because it's a live show here, and I'm not gonna shout people down on live air.
Honesty, man. Honesty is key.
Yeah, honesty, but there's a thing called being negative, and I don't want to be negative. That's not what my show's about.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Okay, there's tone of being locker room, and then there's tone is like as soon as like right now we're on stage, we're entertaining the masses right now. I'm here with my MCs, my guest. But when the show goes off, we step in the locker room. We can talk about whatever we want to talk about, whatever goes through our minds. That's the whole idea of locker room talk. And I'm using a wrestling term right now.
Hey Tommy, some of the people want to know if they'll get their Patreon rewards.
Yes, I'm working on the vlog soon. I need to get on working on the vlog. I apologize, folks. You will be getting the vlog soon.
What about the random hangouts?
I will be doing that soon. Also, I have some stuff going on. I'm working on, and I will be doing that soon. I hope these are actual questions. And you're not just putting me on the spot, Sam.
No, it's what the people want to know.
Yeah,
if I wanted to put you on the spot, I know exactly what I'd say, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Because that's for the long
All I'm doing is just sitting here looking creepy on camera. Just look at those eyes, people. Those eyes look really creepy.
Like Ed Bassmaster. You guys ever heard of Ed Bassmaster?
Big time.
He's a YouTuber. He's a prankster. And, well, you just look at that. And the officer pulls out a ticket and he's like, well, you just look at that. Oh, you just look at that. Look at that. Oh, you just look at that. Adam.
Yes, sir.
Well, you just look at that.
What about the hacker? Oh, sorry, man.
Oh no, so I was just gonna say that if I don't know what your relationship with Hams is like. I guess you guys are buddies now, but if either of you did have, I kind of thought you guys had a wrestling show. If you guys ever needed a guest for your panel, someone to contribute, I'd love to be on it. I have wrestled professionally. I trained out in Calgary for a little while, so I do think I have a pretty sophisticated opinion about pro wrestling. If you ever need someone like that on your show,
Wrestling show?
Yeah.
What wrestling show?
For whatever reason, I thought you or Hamza had a wrestling show.
I think you're thinking of Joe Cronin. I work with Joe. The Joe Cronin show. You can call him tomorrow. He has a show after Raw goes off on Mondays, and you can call him the show and ask him questions, or you can talk with him. And he's
got a good show.
Does he? Yeah, I've actually seen his show. He seems like a pretty cool guy.
Oh yeah, he's a bit of a shock jock, but he knows his stuff. Like when it comes to wrestling.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it'd be right up your alley, man.
Yeah, maybe I will have to call in then.
Yes.
I'm sort of looking for a show to be on. I don't want to do a wrestling show on my channel, but I'd like to contribute to somebody else's.
Hey,
yeah.
John, was it Lance Storm wrestling?
For me, I didn't No, I trained. Well, I trained at a place called BJ's Gym, which is owned by Teddy Hart's dad, or was owned. It's closed down now. I was trained by. The guy that was in the ring was Ravenous Randy Myers, but a lot of the times it was T.J. Wilson, Tyson Kidd, or Harry Smith that was training us, and there's a couple of other guys that were in there too. It was sort of it was a camp. It had a lot of people contributing to the training.
Cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know much about being a wrestler, but I know that Calgary ain't the nicest city in the world.
You know, I heard
Especially come wintertime.
I heard a lot of people went up to the Heart dungeon, and some people would absolutely get put in all sorts of positions, twisted, and people would be screaming just because the guy was such a good wrestler and he was training people, you know?
Yeah, I've had actually a couple of people put me in a couple of those holds. It's not a lot of fun.
Have you been to the Heart dungeon?
No. I've seen the Hard House, but by the time I got to Calgary, the Hart Dungeon was defunct. Stu had passed away, years before I ever got there. I was stretched by other people that were taught by him. The gym that I trained in was considered, at least by the people that trained there, to be the sort of continuation of the dungeon.
Really? I heard a lot of people, there was a lot of controversy behind that dungeon, and how there was a lot of insane wrestling moves, and how the Stu Hart, he was an extreme guy. Like if you just don't look at WWE and say, oh, that's the Hart family. No. The Hart family had their own wrestling. They had their own vision of wrestling before, Vince McMahon threw all his stuff out there.
All of the absolute best people went through that training. Bret Hart, Owen Hart, Dynamite Kid.
Yeah, can you imagine? So, is this going to be easy? Pop, and he's just like, sure. And let me get you in this position. Ah! Does it look easy? Ah! Who was your favorite wrestler in WCW?
In WCW, well, I liked Randy Savage. However, he's also a WWE guy. If you're looking for guys that were sort of brought up in WCW, I really liked Dallas Page, actually. I thought he was
Dallas Page.
Yes, sir.
High five.
Yeah, I'm a big Dallas Page mark, actually.
And just recently, I found out that he actually does Diamond Dallas Page yoga, and he actually he helped out a man recently. He tried to help Bookie 293, and I don't know what happened with that situation, but he did help this one guy. It was he broke his legs, and he apparently, because of Diamond Dallas Page yoga, he went back to walking normally, running, and being very healthy.
I saw that. The guy in the video was I believe he was a parachuter for the military or something, and having jumped out of airplanes as a career, eventually it wore its toll on his body, and he had to use sort of crutches to walk. And by the end of the video, he was running. It's incredible. It's an amazing video if you guys can find it.
Yes, it's Diamond Dallas Page. He's an interesting guy. After wrestling so long, he's actually helped out a lot of professional wrestlers. He has really helped out a lot of wrestlers in the past, including Razor Ramon. My God, the guy was a drink away from dying. On his deathbed almost. And Razor Ramon just came over there and Wait a minute.
What's wrong?
Diamond Dallas Page, he really helped him out during that time of that.
Yeah, and Jake the Snake Roberts, they have a documentary called The Resurrection of Jake the Snake that is just about that. Dallas Page helping Razor Ramon and Jake Roberts with by taking them into his house and getting them to do yoga and quit drinking and quit substance abuse and turn their lives around.
And who do we have to blame? Vince McMahon. You know, he, like, you know, like, what do you have to say, McMahon? I'm just a puppet. I do what they tell me to do.
Yeah. You know, it is... There was a good 15-year run where it was just another young... Every weekend, or, you know, it was 2 or 3 guys every week that was just a young guy, under 30, under 40, just dying of, you know, something substance-related, heart attacks or, you know, whatever. For a good 15 years, it looks like we're just finally getting out of that fucking hellhole that we were in for a while.
Until Ultimate Warrior's heart exploded after WrestleMania, and then what's his face, like the American Dream.
I mean, as sad as it is to say, those guys are considered senior citizens. I don't even think... How old was Warrior? Not even 60, you know?
Look at Roddy Piper. Like,
yeah,
he was pretty young. Like, you know, he was young for his age. He had a heart attack.
Yeah.
You know, I took a coconut and I bashed it right into his head.
But I mean, look at... Sorry, go ahead.
Yes.
Well, you were talking about how you went to the gym for wrestling before, and Tommy actually got a gym membership a little while ago, and I was just wondering if you still go there, Tommy.
I do. I try to when I'm not busy.
Because, you know, you could... I know you love wrestling, dude. You should try and, like, get in the rhythm of training and think about doing some amateur wrestling, man. I actually suggested to Tommy, him and Hamza should make a backyard wrestling, you know, outfit. Put a bunch of mattresses on the floor, you know.
I probably could I could probably wipe the floor with Hamza.
I'd just like to say, as I feel responsible that I have to say, if you're going to wrestle, you should get trained. Get somebody to teach you how to fall. Don't. And the other thing is if you don't know how to wrestle and you do backyard shows, the pros don't like that. They don't want to help people succeed if they've seen that they do backyard wrestling.
Ooh.
Yeah.
As I say, please do not do this at home.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm John Cena. I'm a professional. I don't know how to take bumps. What was I supposed to hit the bump again?
You're right, man. Once you get a little older, it's crucial that you don't want to injure yourself. Like, I remember as a kid, we'd be on the trampoline, like tombstone pile driver to my friend's younger brother, and, like, you know, all these different moves that we're trying to replicate. Like, no one got hurt. You know, you just had bones like rubber. You know.
That's good that nobody got hurt. Yeah.
Well, but you know what I'm saying. When you're like a kid, that, you know, you can go through a lot of torture and.
When you super kick your friend Bobby in the face, and then
but like now, you know, you get a little older, get a little out of shape. You know, you get out of bed the wrong way, and you're feeling it for the next few days. You know.
Well, I mean, there's videos of people doing wrestling moves off of houses and stuff. Like, you know, a lot of that backyard stuff is just scary. People hitting each other with fluorescent light tubes and stuff.
Oh,
they
yeah.
don't really know they don't understand the risk involved in what they're doing.
Hey, Junk Drawer.
Yeah.
Apparently, Joe Cronin just lost 2 crew members. Like, he's got a pretty decent sized crew. He did have, like, you know, maybe 5-6 dudes who'd be coming on the show with him at any given time, and apparently he just lost 2 crew members. So I'd suggest getting in contact with him, man.
Yeah, I guess I probably should. If he'd be interested in having me on, I'd love to go on.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say, like, start by calling in or whatever. I'm not really too familiar with his show, like, from that perspective, but, you know, I've seen it because Tommy's been on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, their locker room is kind of interesting. They're an interesting group of people, and Joe is one of the main celebrities out of that group, and he's an interesting guy. And there's also a guy named Tommy C. that does hockey reviews. Also, which I want to get him on my show too. But Well, I want to say thank you so much, Adam, known as Drunk Drawers.
Junk
Video.
drawer.
Drunk Drawer videos. And I want to thank
It's junk. Get it right.
I want to thank Sam, known as Mr. Rasmus, for coming on tonight. And
Not a problem, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to say thank you for watching the show tonight, folks. We appreciate it.
No
And-
karaoke tonight, Tommy?
No karaoke. We'll do that for
Oh.
some other time. But as always, I'm Tommy NC 2010.
What are you doing?
And I'm Tommy NC 2010. And I'm keeping you on the inside fact.
Thanks for having me on the show, by the way.
You're welcome to stay after we end the show. So
Sure.
keeping you on the inside fact, folks. See you next Sunday.